Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on the 1988 film Oliver and Company. Now, as you know, Oliver and Company is meant to be an animated musical film from 1988, which was produced by Walt Disney Feature Films and was meant to be loosely based on Charles Dickens' novel Oliver Twist, with a few modern changes, like having London and that take place in New York, Oliver and Dodger being portrayed as animals, also having Bill Sikes and Fagin portrayed as one being a loan shark and the other one being a deadbeat loser. And the premise of the film is meant to feature Oliver, who is meant to be an orange orphan kitten who ends up being taken by Dodger and his band of dogs, and some of them have different personalities. For example, Rita is meant to be the voice of reason, Einstein is a bit more of the dim-witted one, Frankie is meant to be kind of like the Shakespearean actor, and Tito is maybe more like the sort of macho hothead. So of course, if you've read Oliver Twist, then you know the story. Oliver pretty much gets taken in by a young girl known as Jenny, who is meant to kind of be based on Mr. Brownlow. And of course, Jenny's character actually sees Oliver as a new friend. She basically loves the kitten more than anything. And of course, you know the rest of what Oliver's gonna be. It's basically taking creative liberties, putting things in, and basically giving you a more Disney-esque version. I would say for the most part, the film definitely does a good job. I think for the most part, it definitely knows how to do Bill Sikes well in this one. In this one, he's meant to be more like a sort of dangerous, kind of evil, kind of loan shark, and basically does criminal means to get his money. And of course, you can kind of tell Fagin, who's meant to be a deadbeat loser, is a little terrified of him, and you can kind of tell that there's a difference between them. There are things that Bill Sikes will cross, while Fagin does have a bit of a moral to him and does mean well, but I think at times makes one poor decision after another. And I would say the film, feels rushed at times. I feel things feel enforced, or we never really get to properly know the characters. Like, we never really see Dodger explaining how him and the other dogs came to be, and we never really get much time with Oliver as much. I just think he's mostly put under the sidelines. Again, I feel if you've got a main character, you want them to get to know their new environment. You want them to sort of know what they're going through in that. And I also feel as well what the film does get right is definitely know how to go to darker territory, because when we kind of see Bill Sikes chasing Fagin and the gang and goes on the train tracks, we see how his two hench dogs end up getting electrified, which definitely goes on darker level territory. Or when you kind of got like Bill Sikes' attack dogs going once again at Dodger while protecting him from Fagin, they definitely know how to go the darker route. And I would also say when you've got the songs, they definitely work. Because when you've kind of got the song at the start, Once Upon a Time in New York City, it gives you this introduction to New York and more like a person telling you the story. And when you kind of got the song Why Should I Worry, it's more like, I'm not worried about my problems, I'm happy with who I am. And I think when you kind of got the song Together We'll Be, it's more like, we're going to be together no matter what. And I also feel when you kind of got the song Streets of Gold, it's more like trying to go the distance and trying to make the effort. I think surprising enough, I remember as a kid getting this on VHS back in 1997, and surprising enough there wasn't a home release for it until in the mid 90s. So I'm guessing that Disney thought it wasn't as good and probably swept it under the rug. I think for the most part, in my opinion, trying to take Oliver Twist into the world of Disney and putting a different twist to it had some repercussions, but there was some good ideas, but I think some of it was swept under the rug. So I think to me, Oliver and Company is an okayish film. It's not gonna go the distance, but it's giving you a quick and easy, simple film to enjoy. I think my overview thoughts on this, it still deserves a thumbs up. Still enjoyable and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.